Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for my client Nikola's vlog, and we started the week off with closed grip bench press for a max. Nice good pause, pushed through a sticking point pretty quick. That's 175 kilograms. I don't recall that exactly in pounds. Was it around 380? Something like that. Close enough. Alright, for supplemental work, he didn't send me the pause bench footage, but I have him do right now pause benching and incline benching. Because again, look how strong that close grip is. It's fast off the chest. We've got to get him stronger through all this mid-range stuff. Now we need to continue to do tricep work because I think he needs more triceps for his build. But what we had started noticing for him, as soon as I put a really heavy tricep focus in, he started getting slower off the chest again. So the floor presses, all the JM presses, all of that, for him weren't giving us fully what we need. You know, it is a case of you just got to get his upper body thicker at this point. And that also means, again, we're just going to have to build all the parts of the bench. Now, he already has a really good bench, by the way. I mean, he is just over 400 pounds in competition. So, again, we have to build a lot more muscle. And that's just the reality of it. When you get to a certain point as a lifter, because he's fast, he's explosive. Notice how fast he pauses and he just drives that weight up. Okay? Technique-wise, neural drive-wise, there's not really much more we can pull out of his bench right now. Okay? Because technique will change further as he gets bigger. But it'll change further as he gets bigger. At this point in the game, he has to get thicker. Right? We need more meat on his upper body. So everything's going to be a really heavy hypertrophy focus. I mean, not be able to do a lot of, floor pressing and things like that. I'm going to have to get in and get more lengthened position movements. We're hitting his back from a couple different angles. All right? We don't just stick with just a standard row. In his case, we're doing lat pull downs, machine rows, which is another good point. So why would we be doing that for him? Because of his good morning strength. He doesn't have access to some of the equipment I have or other people have. So we push good mornings really hard. And I mean real hard. I think he's doing 160 plus kilograms. That's around 350 pounds, right? Or more. 4 sets of 10 on good mornings. Okay? His low back is very fatigued through the week accordingly. Because I use the tools that we have available. So we tend to do a lot of machine work for other stuff. All right? Which would mean his back work. We're doing machine rows. We're doing lat pull downs. Some of his hamstring work. Right? We get on some of the hamstring machines and we work those hamstrings. Now, he has access to a glute ham raise, but the issue we've run into is even with the settings on it, he struggles with it. Because again, we need stronger hamstrings. Now, as his hamstrings get stronger again, I'll put him back on that glute ham raise. All right, we'll put him back on there. But if you look at the good mornings, though, his glutes are strong. His back is strong. Watch his deadlifts when we did that deadlift last week, which was 310 kilos. Again, around 680 pounds. If you watch his technique, you can tell his hamstrings are the only thing holding him back. It's a very back-dominant puller. But the thing that we have to factor in with that, he can generate so much tonnage on things like the good mornings, his back is really going to be fatigued throughout the week. And I needed to recover. So I'm going to have most of his chest work be supported. Going to be supported. Same thing. We're not even overhead pressing anymore. Incline's going to give him more, but I run into the same issue. I got a guy doing that sort of the tonnages that he's doing on good mornings. I don't know that I want him standing around loading his spine. I don't know that I want him doing that. I want it resting so that we can save it for the good mornings. We can save it for the deadlifts, because when we deadlift every 2 weeks on some sort of heavy pull, those pulls are always above 600 pounds. Even his deficit work is going to be above 600. I need his lower back ready for those days. Okay? I have to have it ready. and I don't have a reverse hyper for him. So again, we work inside the context of what we have to work with. And I know I've said before, and many people said, well, you need the basics, barbell and rack, and for a certain extent, just the basics will get by. But there comes a point where lifters can reach a point where that's really not true. We really start needing a lot of this other equipment. And in his case, machines would be one of them. They come in handy. All right, speed bench. He does a standard rotation for my conjugate lifters, 3 sets wide, 3 sets medium, 3 sets close. Afterwards, I have him incline bench. I want him stronger on the incline. I want to get him faster off the chest, blasting through those sticking points better. Okay, so we're putting a heavier incline focus in his training. All his benching is now done to the chest. We're not going to mess with floor presses right now. We need his pecs bigger. Then, of course, we continue to do tricep work, but because we're throwing in an incline volume, I don't have JM press. That's why. Because his bench days, he's flat benching and inclining. Speed bench days, we have speed bench, and then we have incline. And they're all done for pretty high tonnage. I don't want to beat him up further with things like a JM press, so we go for extensions. Right? We do combinations of free weight extensions and band press downs. All right. And normally I like skull crushers, but he wants to do this style to where he goes behind the head, and if it feels fine on his shoulders, I'm okay with that. Some people like that extra action, that shoulder extension. I personally find I get a little more by lowering them to the face. It is a little harder on the elbows. You have to keep your elbows healthier, right? And I think the other actually has the best carryover to the bench, but it's also very hard on the elbows. All right, but here you go with his speed pulls, but notice the technique. Very back dominant puller. Very back dominant puller. So as we continue to add meat to his hamstrings, that's going to take that up to another level. And then the rest of his dynamic effort, lower day, it's speed boxes, speed pulls, various machine movements, good mornings, right? Building the posterior chain, quads. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time. You guys go ahead and finish watching the training here.